Hey, sweet souls. Thank you for joining me. I'm hoping to make this a quick video. I always say that, and then I end up going for 20 minutes. But I just want to get into super quick what it means to live in the private. What does that actually mean to live in the private versus living in the public? And this is something that you can learn more about. I have an hour-long video on my website. It's free. Just go to taralong.com, the natural law tab, and then you can see that free video right there. It's an hour long to get more in depth about what it means to live in the private. But very quickly, we are all living men and women, right? We're flesh and blood. We live on the land, right? We don't live, most of us don't live out to sea or in the air, right? We live on the land, and there's different jurisdictions, that are active and present in our physical world. And so living in the private means that you know that you are a living flesh and blood man or woman, and you're living on the land, and that you can live your life and do the things that you do as a private man or woman, not a citizen. Watch my other videos to know why you are not a citizen, actually. And there's a few instances where people are considered citizens, but if you're watching this, most likely you are not. So what it means, that's what it means to live in the private. It means that you're no longer asking permission to do life, basically, to do and to engage in any way, way, shape, or form. For example, I have a acupuncture practice and a coaching practice, and do this work, and I practice under a PMA, or a private membership association, which means I am practicing and being of service in the private, not the public. So that means a lot of different things, but basically anyone can set up a PMA and practice in the private. We can do anything. We can share our gifts. We can do whatever it is that we want, as long as we're not harming other people, obviously. And you can do that, and you can practice in the private. There's, of course, a lot more that, that can be said about that. But I just want to give you an example. So right now, with the quote unquote government, people are under the impression that you have to ask permission and get licenses and permits to basically just do everything, right? To go fishing or to camp or whatever it is that you might want to do. And of course, you may want to get a license to support your local county, or that's you can still engage and act in the public under your and with your ens legis, or your that all caps name, that you were assigned at birth on your birth certificate. You can do that. That's your legal fiction, or some people call it your straw man. You can certainly do that. It's like it's like playing a game, and you're going to play the game, and act. And you can't live in the public, because that's your legal fiction is a dead entity. It's not, it's out to sea. It's dead. It's not a living man or woman. You are the agent or representative for that. And so you can certainly use that and do whatever it is that you want to do in the public, knowing that it's not you. And then you stop playing the game and go, right, of course, I know what I am. I'm a living man or woman. And so that's just a little tiny bit about what it means to live in the private, and also be able to act in the public. And you can go at your own pace. And some people don't want to act or engage in the public at all. And other people find that there's still a lot of benefits for them to do so. Or they're just on the journey of disengaging more and more from living or from acting in the public. And so it just takes time, because there's a lot of unlearning that we have to do, and then learning new things, right? So it is a process. So please be patient with yourself if you're on this journey or you want to be on this journey and you're excited but feel overwhelmed or don't really know where to start. Start here. Start. Just go to my website and watch that video and see if it resonates and how it resonates, and then start doing some research, on your own, and just see what comes up for you and how it feels in your body, and if there's excitement, if there's expansion, or if it's maybe not time yet and you feel really like contracted, but that's okay. You can still be ready and feel contracted, because that contraction is just fear. It's just fear-based energy, and it's not the truth. It's just there to be seen and be transmuted so that you can live your fullest expansion. If this is exciting for you and if you're watching this, then probably there's some or a big part of you that is ready for this journey. And there's so many of us on this journey, and it's beautiful and wonderful, and there's so many gifts along the way that you would never even imagine, that you can't even imagine. There's so many gifts of like coming into your fullness, your wholeness, your power, really connecting deeper, at least for me, with who I really am, and not just in this physical body, right, as a living woman, but as a soul. And that's what we all are, beautiful souls on this, we could call it a planet, I guess. Yeah, so please leave any questions that you have below, or comments, anything that you'd like me to do a quick video on. I'm happy to do that. Just leave me some feedback. And yeah, and if you're ready, you can check out my course on my website, taralong.com, tab Natural Law, and all the details are there for my 7-week Be Free course, where I distill all of this, information, inner and including the inner with the outer practical real world steps, but also making sure to pay attention to and care for our inner world, which everything's energy. So our inner world creates our outer world, and we can't ignore that. We can't just go full speed ahead and not pay any attention to what's going on in here, because we'll just keep coming up against the same roadblocks, until we go, oh, that's what's going on in here. And we don't have to go dig, and we don't have to like do all this crazy, like long processes around it, but sometimes just seeing what's there, seeing the fears that are there, and giving them love, and and then they transmute, because energy doesn't just go away, right? We can't just get rid of energy. Energy turns into something else, right? So that fear-based energy can be transmuted and alchemized into different energy, sometimes into acceptance or neutrality, or love. We can transmute that energy into love energy, loving ourselves, and loving ourselves enough to go, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. I don't want to engage in this anymore. What can I do? And if you're here and you're still watching this, then you're probably ready for this journey. So welcome. I'm so excited for you. And yeah, please reach out if you have any questions, and check out my course if you're interested. Okay, sending lots of love.